Hi, and welcome to the Nginx Fundamentals Deconstructed course. In this step-by-step guide, you will learn what is the Nginx and how can you configure the Nginx features. In the first video, I speak some fundamentals and basic concepts of Nginx features. The Nginx is a web server that also can be used as a load balancer, reverse proxy, HTTP cache, and mail proxy. The web server can refer to hardware or software that working together to provide the needed files by using the HTTP protocol. At the most basic level, when a browser needs a file that is hosted on the web server, it will send a request with the HTTP. The web server accepts the request, find the requested files or documents, and send it back to the browser. You must have seen some other pages in the browser, such as 404 error. In this case, the web server couldn't find the requested documents, so it will return the 404 response instead of the document. To publish a web server, you need either a static or a dynamic web server. The static web server provides the requested documents as is to your browser without any change. The dynamic web server consists of static contents and some extra software, most commonly in application servers and databases. And when a request comes to a dynamic web server, the hosted files are updated based on the request, and the content will be sent to your browser with HTTP protocol. An example of a dynamic web server is an online banking website. When you log into your online banking website, you may see some pictures, logos. Those are all common between all users. So if anybody log into that website, they can see those information. But there are some other contents that are specific to your request. I mean, you can see your own bank account, you can see your own balance on your account, and these are the updated information based on your request. The other feature of Nginx is the load balancer. In this slide, I want to show you why we need a load balancer. Assume that the server is failed on the hardware side or software side, and it cannot reply to incoming inquiries. In this case, we can use another feature of Nginx, and that is load balancer feature. The load balancer can distribute the traffic between multiple web servers. It can be 2, 3, 10, or even thousands of web servers. So by using these load balancer, you can distribute the traffic between these different instances of web servers. And the load balancer can recognize the faulty web server and it won't send the traffic to that server. So the client traffic is not interrupted because the traffic is sent to the other healthy web server or web servers. There are different methods of distributing traffic between the web servers. We will talk about that later in the load balancer section. Reverse proxy and caching are the other features of Nginx. A reverse proxy sits between the client and the web server, and the session will be terminated in reverse proxy. Then we can have many controls here to allow or restrict traffic to the actual website. In this case, the reverse proxy is a public facing of your website that can increase the security because your backend server is not visible directly from the outside of your internal network. By using the reverse proxy feature, you can also have DDoS protection, connections limitation, source address check, and many more. We can also have the caching capability, which means by keeping the response from the server, reverse proxy can respond to the same request without asking the server. that decrease the load of the actual server and also the response time for the client. SSL termination is another capability you can have by the reverse proxy. By using the SSL termination, you can decrease load on the actual web server by offloading SSL connections on the reverse proxy server. Since the connection between the reverse proxy and the actual server is an internal connection, you may not need to encrypt the traffic there. We will talk about these features in detail in the dedicated section. Nginx is the most used web server according to w3tech.com, and more than 33.9% of all websites are using Nginx as their web server. In this chart, you can see the other popular web servers. These statistics are based on the time that I'm recording this video, and it's in January 2023. There are two different versions of Nginx. One is Nginx open source, another one is Nginx Plus. Nginx Plus is the subscription model and has more features compared to Nginx open source, such as the built-in dashboard, active health check, high availability features. And if you want to know more about that, you can see the Nginx website compare model page. Let me show you that. Okay, this is a picture of Nginx dashboard, Nginx Plus dashboard, and you don't have it in the Nginx open source. This is the compare model page. You can see this is the open source version. It doesn't have the active health check, but the Nginx Plus has this feature. This is the other feature that I mentioned earlier. High availability. You don't have it in the open source version, but in the Nginx Plus, you have active and active standby mode. Now I want to show you some other resources if you want to have more information about the Nginx. Nginx.org is a page that you can get more information on Nginx open source. And Nginx.com is a website to get more information on Nginx Plus. In the next video, I will speak about the installation process, prerequisites, and everything you need to know to install the Nginx on CentOS and Ubuntu. Also, I will explain how to configure a static web server by using the Nginx in the next video.